So without further ado, let us say hello to the one and only Sean O'Malley. Oh my God!
What are you laughing at?
This is incredible. This is amazing. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Doing good, Ariel. How are you?
Honestly, I didn't know you were doing this, and I've always wanted to do the Sean O'Malley hair interview, and so I appreciate this gift that you've given us.
I know every time we do an interview, I'm driving.
I know this is better.
So this is great. Yeah.
So it actually does take a village, like they say. This is 3 people working on your hair, Sean?
You got, 2 people working on it, and then Gina's in the back helping. So yeah, 3 people working on it. And it'll still take about 4 hours.
And how many hours are we in?
An hour.
You have to sit there for 4 hours to do this?
Yeah.
Do you get restless?
Not too bad. It's all right. It's rather be playing Call of Duty, but whatever.
So I'm actually doing you a favor by doing this interview during I hate to bother people on fight week. This is actually a gift from the gods.
Yeah, we're killing time. So thank you.
Okay. Wow. Could you give us some insight? Like, what are we doing here? What's happening? I'm fascinated by this.
I can't give you any insights. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. They're just painting, brushing my hair and putting cotton balls in it. So I don't really know what's going on. I just know in about 4 hours it's going to look badass.
What color are we going with, or colors?
Oh, you'll have to wait and find out, Ariel.
Oh my God. I'm an inquisitive mind. I'm a journalist. Could I ask the lovely ladies, like, why the cotton balls? I've never seen that before. Why cotton balls in the hair?
It helps with overlapping of colors so the hair won't break.
Oh, interesting.
Ariel.
Wow. And is this at your home, Sean?
No, this is at Danny's suite in where is this? Phoenix? No.
Yeah,
North Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay, and Danny being your better half.
My boo thing.
Yes, there she is. So she's not going to mess you up. Like sometimes you go to the barber or someone and they don't really care. I mean,
exactly. Has my hair ever been messed up?
No, but sometimes you get a lemon and they really mess it up. So you have something in mind. Do you come up with the idea, or does Danny tell you we're going with this? Who comes up with the inspiration?
It's been a mixture of both. This one's pretty much on Danny. She's just kind of she had a vision and she's executing it. But sometimes it's just both of us, but this one's all her.
Okay. And are we gonna braid it on fight day?
Of course, yeah. I cannot stand when my hair is in my eyes when I'm trying to fight.
Sure.
It's just something you don't want to deal with. So yeah, I get the braids done, be a little gangster, beat someone up. Good day.
Does Danny braid the hair, or do you have someone else who does that?
No, the lady at the UFC has been braiding it the last couple fights, just because ever since we got quarantined, Danny hasn't been coming for fight week. So the sweet lady at the UFC does it.
Wow. That's a nice little luxury that they provide to you guys. A person just does it free of charge.
Yeah, and she's awesome. She's so good.
Okay.
I wish I remembered her name, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head. But she's the best.
Okay, much respect. So, Paiva, honestly, were you familiar with him when you were offered him?
Yeah, he was ranked number 15. He had just fought my buddy Kyler, and so I was familiar with him just from that last fight, and. They offered him. I looked him up. I didn't know he was ranked number 15 because I don't really follow the rankings too much. But he was ranked 15. I thought, what am I going to say? No.
I
thought it was a good fight.
I was wondering if you were actually upset that he was ranked, because I think you like trolling people and fighting the unranked guys on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Like I really don't care if they're ranked or not. I've called out ranked guys not because they're ranked, but because they're Dominic Cruz or Pedro Munoz, or I've called out ranked guys, but not because they're ranked. Just the rankings don't matter much to me.
Sure, you don't get paid any different if you're ranked 15 or 14 or 12 or 16. So it really doesn't matter. By the way, I love that you're leaning all the way into this unranked thing. Now you're selling the merch.
Yeah, unranked champ. I just feel like that made sense. Each merch drop has a little different theme. Unranked champ just seems to make sense going into this fight, considering I'm on the main card. I've got Paiva all moved all the way up to the main card as well, and we got 2 guys in the top 10, fighting on my prelim. So it's it makes sense.
Do you feel like, when you saw that, the way the card kind of shook out, and that you're on the main card and that Cruz and Munoz were on the prelims? Do you laugh? What is your reaction to that?
I get a little giggle out of it just because I remember Dominic Cruz saying something, trying to teach young fighters how to promote something like that, how to do something. And he's just, it's Dominic Cruz. The dude's a legend. I don't want to say or disrespect him, but he's on the prelim. I mean, the UFC stacks the card in a specific way for a reason. It's, you know what I mean? It's like if they thought Dominic Cruz and Pedro Munoz could sell more pay-per-views than me, they would put him on the main card. So I think it's just, UFC is a business and they understand what they're doing. So, they're there because they're there.
Yes, I think this week will be fun because I'm sure they're going to be asked about it a lot and they're going to have to,
I think I'm going to be on the press conference too. I'm not sure how the press conference is going to play out, but I was looking at my fight week schedule and I did see, the press conference was on my schedule. So I don't know if it's going to be like a big press conference like they've done before or how that's going to play out. But yeah, I'm very curious to who's going to be at that.
When we found out that Aljamain Sterling was out of the title fight, you threw your name in the hat and that caused a stir. People were wondering if they would actually call upon you. Other people didn't believe that you were serious about your desire to fight in this title fight. Could you tell us, were you serious?
100%. I would hate to take a short notice fight. I'd prefer not to. But I looked at that fight as a win-win. I'm always in somewhat decent shape. You're not always in fight shape, but it was 4 or 5 weeks out. So I had time to get into pretty good shape. And, I was going to go out there and give it my all for as long as I could. And, I thought losing to Petr Yan wouldn't be that big of a loss. I think it would make for even a better rematch after I would earn that back. But, I was 100% serious. And I know Corey was the front man who I believe deserved the shot over me. But I didn't know if in that moment he was healthy and able to. I know Rob had COVID. TJ was out. There was just, I would 100% have taken that fight if they offered me it.
Was there ever any talk? Like, did it get to the point where they were really checking?
Not really.
Okay.
Not, I don't think so. I don't think it was ever that serious, but, I was 100% down for that.
Yan getting a ton of love. Like, we've had 3 guests on this show recently. Maybe it was 2, but definitely 2 of people saying best boxer in the sport. Like, it feels like he's now starting to get a lot of love. Were you impressed by his performance against Sandhagen?
Yeah, I was impressed by both their performances. Corey had a really good performance too. Peter's he's so good at adapting and winning those later rounds. He's definitely up there for pound, I think, skill set wise. And, I think I'm excited for Aljo Peter to go out there and establish who's the champ.
Who do you think wins?
I think Aljo's going to have to go in there with a different style or a different mindset game plan. He kind of went out there and emptied his tank early. And I think now going into that fight, he knows he's not going to be able to take out Peter that way. He's not going to be able to go out wrestle him and just do that. So, I'm going to go with Peter, but Aljo's, he's legit. He's the real deal. He's the, champ at number 1 spot, whatever. He's up there. He's legitimate. And I don't think it's an easy fight for Peter, but I think Peter will probably get the job done again or this time.
Yeah. I get why you said again. By the way, I've always wanted to bleach my hair. I've never done it. Does it burn? Like, is it on fire right now? Is your scalp burning?
Danny knows that my head's a little bit sensitive.
Okay.
She's done it enough times to where I've complained enough to where they use a lighter something or other. So they're careful with my sensitive little scalp, Ariel.
Okay. There have been some times where it really hurt?
Yes.
Wow. Like, what does that feel like? On fire?
Yeah, it feels like your brain's on fire.
Oh, no.
And it's just horrible. You can't do anything about it.
Like, if you go wash it off, it doesn't go away?
No, she washes it off. Like, she'll dunk my head in the cold water, little machine over here, and it just feels so good.
Oh, wow. And now, like, this week, are you allowed to wash your hair?
This week, I can wash it with extremely cold water.
Ooh.
But for the most part, I Tuesday, like today, I already worked out. I won't work out again, so I won't need to wash it tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm just gonna get a light sweat, probably just put it up, and then I'll probably wash it a couple times before the fight. But we'll see.
Okay. I'm fascinated by all this stuff. I appreciate you doing the interview while you're getting your hair did, as
Yes.
the kids like to say.
Well, I appreciate you giving me an interview while I get my hair did.
Yeah. Adrian Yanez, is he next?
Yeah, I was thinking, I called him out and he stuttered. He didn't really know what to say. He was trying to talk shit while saying I had really cool knockouts. So I think, my first impression of when he got asked about that was, he said that I want to fight ranked opponents, which was completely lie. I've never said I want to fight a ranked opponent. So I don't know if he, he kind of committed saying he would fight me. So I think that's up there. Depending on this finish, Rob Font could also be, I thought his performance was really impressive against Jose Aldo. We'll see, it could be one of those two, but, Yanez in March might make more sense. But yeah, we'll see.
I love the idea of you versus Yanez. By the way, what about Aldo? Same weight class. I know he's not necessarily on the radar for you next, but pretty freaking amazing to see a legend like that still doing this, right?
Yeah, every time he goes out there and steps into the cage, it's like you're witnessing something different. It's like that's how I feel when I go in the cage. It's something not the same level, like a different. He's a legend, and it's cool to watch him. He went down to 35 and even go up to 55, and he's performing very well at a high level, and he's still getting the job done. So yeah, it was really cool to watch.
Any truth to the rumor that you'll be walking out with Takashi on Saturday?
I know he'll be front row with Steve and the boys, but I won't be walking out with him. I'll be walking out to one of his new songs, which will be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to performing in front of the boys.
I mean, it makes sense, right? 6'9", 269. I just thought.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was gonna. They wanted to come to my next fight anyway, and it just happened to be UFC 269. So, I think it's gonna be a legendary night.
You're not a fan of the walkout? I mean, Gervonta Davis just last night came out with, I don't know who it was, if I'm being honest. I'm not that cool, but someone was rapping next to him on the way.
Did he win?
He won, yeah. You didn't watch?
No, Ariel, I'm in bed at that time. I'm not up that late. I didn't even watch Jose Aldo Rob Font. I was too late. I woke up in the morning and put on ESPN and watched it without even knowing who won.
Wow, what time did you go to bed?
9:30-ish.
Really? Is that a camp thing
Yeah.
or a general lifestyle thing?
Ideally, it's all the time. In camp, it's very strict, very dialed in. I have the best sleep in the UFC, in my opinion.
What does that mean?
My sleep's been a number one priority to me for a long time. Ever since I watched Joe Rogan podcast with Matthew Walker, they talked about sleep. Kind of freaked me out. So sleep's the number one thing in camp, and I get my sleep in.
Wait, what freaked you out? I have not seen that episode. What freaked you out about that?
It's an older episode. I think 3 or 4 years ago I watched it, and just how important sleep is for all around health, especially with performance. It's the number one performance enhancer, sleep. You go and have a good workout, you eat good, and you sleep like shit.
Right.
It's just you don't get all that you could out of it. So sleep's number one priority for me in camp.
So yeah, by the way, Tank Davis did win. I don't know. Are you I know you like boxing, right? You're like somewhat familiar with boxing. 135 in boxing is so much fun.
Yeah, I love boxing. I think it's a sweet sport to compete in, and it's fun for me to do outside of and I like boxing training. It's fun hitting mitts, doing the whole thing, boxing, sparring. But I don't know. I'm not a huge boxing fan to where I wasn't gonna. I don't know. I'm excited for Jake Tyrone Woodley too. I'm sure you talked about that a little bit.
Not that much. You into it? Because some people, we had a late start today. So what do you think of that? Ooh. You think Tyrone wins?
I saw it this morning. Yeah. I didn't think it was real, and then I saw it everywhere. So I was like, okay, this shit's real. Like I'm upset a little bit because I really was. I was invested in that fight. I wanted to see Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. I wanted to when there's so much shit talked, you got to see who wins. But Tyrone Woodley taking this on 7 days notice, 8 days notice?
A little more, 2 weeks, because it's next weekend.
Oh shit, mine's 7. Yeah. Okay, you're right. A little more, but still, I mean, that's real short notice. We'll see what kind of cardio he's in, conditioning, what kind of shape he's in. It's going to play a huge role in this fight. It's probably 8 minutes or 8 rounds again. So, I'm going to watch. I won't be there live, but I will be watching.
You were at the last one. So are you and Jake boys? Like, are you friends? How would you describe?
Yeah. Me and Jake are buddies. I think, I was at the last 2 fights. Last time was tough though. Showtime made it hard for me. It was hard to get into the building. They had no security. It's hard to get to my seat. Once I was at my seat, it was a shit show. It was very stressful. And, it was hard to just sit and watch the fight. They just had it was kind of stressful. So I'm going to just watch it from home this time, but, excited to watch that fight.
Yeah, Dustin said the same thing. A lot of people were coming up to you, taking pictures. He said he couldn't really enjoy the action. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. It was very, it gave me more anxiety than enjoyment. I was sitting there watching the fight. I would have rather been at home,
right,
stuffing my face with some pizza, hitting my Dr. Dabber,
Your what?
My Dr. Dabber.
What's that?
Just a dab rig. Ariel, you should get one. Send you one.
What does that mean? Is that like a smoking device?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, don't be coy. We could talk about anything here. This is
no, I know. I just pictured you hitting that doctor. I just get giggle out of it.
You don't think I'm cool enough to do so?
No. I think you are for sure.
Okay.
I think that's exact. Yeah. I think you definitely
don't. Seems like you don't. If I'm being honest. And speaking of famous friends, I saw you hobnobbing over there with Conor McGregor. I think it was at a football game, right?
Yeah, it was at the Cowboys Rams. Or no, Cowboys Chargers football game. That was the first time I got to meet Conor. That was really cool. It was a short conversation. It was very loud in there, extremely loud in there. I think he had a couple shots of proper 12, so his accent was extremely thick. No, but we had a good short little conversation. It was really cool to meet him, and it was good.
There's a clip that was posted, I think by you, maybe by him. You guys are talking, and it looks like he's trying to block out the camera. What are you guys talking about there?
No, I just muted the audio because I just knew people would get fired up about it. But really, even if I posted with the audio, you can't really hear what we're saying. But I just knew posting it muted would just get people fired up.
Sure.
I don't recall the exact conversation. I know he said it was my last performance. He had really liked my last performance. It was like literally short conversation. There wasn't much said, and it was extremely loud in there. So.
Okay. On your podcast recently, correct me with the name, the Timbo and Sugar Show.
Yep. Timbo Sugar Show.
Yeah. You said recently, I'm not. I probably have 10 years max left. Which obviously 10 years is a long time. If you're fighting twice a year minimum, that's still 20 more fights if you're healthy.
Right.
But it sounds to me like you don't want to be one of these guys who goes to 40 because 10 years would be around 37 or so. Right?
Yeah. I think it totally depends on injuries, because I think, longevity wise, I take care of myself, and, I do believe I'll be able to perform at a higher level at a higher age. So I think I'll take care of myself. I'll be able to fight for a while. I don't really put a date on it. I guess when I said 10 years, it was just kind of an estimate, just throwing that number out there, putting it into perspective. But yeah, I don't really have a certain, 36, 37. It's when I'm done, I'm done.
Okay. Why do you think people get so fired up about you, Sean? Why do you think you're so polarizing right now?
I think it's my performances. I really do. I think like all the talk, all the hair, all the whatever, the face, that all those things aren't really, they're just additives. I think my performances, you just want to watch me fight. I move different than people. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it really is, but could be wrong. It could be my beautiful smile.
I know you guys don't. It is very nice. I know you guys don't see eye to eye, but Chito Vera looked good in his last fight, right? Much respect.
Did he?
You didn't watch?
No, I did watch. I thought you were being. Or I don't know if you're being serious or not.
You didn't think he looked good?
You were?
Yeah, I thought so. Frankie Edgar, legend.
Oh. Yeah, no, I didn't know if he was serious. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent performance. I mean, I thought a minute left and he would have lost that fight, and I don't think we'd be saying that same thing. But he won. He got the job done, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, I guess you could consider it a good performance.
Does that rematch have to happen before your careers are over?
Yes.
Soon?
100%. I think it's going to happen 100%.
Soon? You want it soon?
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's a time and place for that fight, and I think it's going to be a big fight, and it's going to happen. I don't know when, I don't know if sooner or later, but it'll happen.
I saw Paiva say to Sherdog, he's finishing you in the second round. Obviously, you don't agree with that. What's your outcome? What are you envisioning? What are you predicting?
He said he's going to finish me in the second round?
Yeah.
How do you say he's going to finish me in the second round?
You want the exact quote? I have it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
Let's hear it.
I'm pulling it up. Oh, this according to Sherdog, he says, and I quote, after 3 straight wins, I thought the UFC would give me a rank guy, again with this ranking. But after all the hype over O'Malley, I think a clear win over him will take me to the rankings anyway. Let me just get it here. Since I came here the first time, Cody, if I win, I'm going to okay. Where's the quote about? Wait, let me just search for the word third. Oh, I screwed this up, Sean. I mean, you're putting me on.
That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I obviously don't agree with that opinion. I think I get the job done within the 15 minutes, but I'm prepared to go for 15 minutes. You know, my last 2 fights have ended in the later third round. So I think, I'm definitely prepared. I don't think anyone's going to be tougher than Chris Moutinho was. I know Paiva took a lot of damage in his last fight, and he's going to be extremely tough too. So I plan on beating him up for 15 minutes in the finish. If it's there, it's there. I've always been good at being patient with the finish and letting the finish come. I'm not a guy that forces the finish. If it's there, it's there. And a lot of my fights, it ends up being there. So, I plan on putting his lights out before the 3 rounds, but I'm gonna let it play out how it plays out.
Okay. I'm slowly getting into the merch game myself. I feel like a good one for you would be like pay-per-view, like, because you're Mr. Pay-per-view. Like, you don't fight. You're not an Apex fighter. You're a pay-per-view. They save you for the big pay-per-views. I feel like that would really piss people off. Something with Mr. Pay-per-view, Mr. PPV, something like. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I like where your head's at. I like that. I'm always brainstorming for merch ideas. But yeah, I think really I've been on UFC 222, UFC 248, 250, 252, 264, 269. I think is what it's been. So yeah, I think the pay-per-views, I'm on them for a reason. So I'm building my resume to where I main event a pay-per-view, and I'm going to make that pay-per-view money. That's really the end goal.
Right. Yeah. Your only non-pay-per-view was your debut. I mean, Contender Series excluded, your debut on the
co-main event.
Yeah, co-main event. Yeah, but the rest have been the numbered shows. All of a sudden, I'm craving cotton candy.
Don't eat it. Too much sugar.
Too much sugar.
Give you a tummy ache.
Just like the look here is very cotton candy. I feel like we're going with a blue, white, like a.
No, that's just what's that? The bleach or whatever.
This is just the lightener. Yeah.
That's just the lightener. So it's not what the color is going to be itself.
You know what the color is. Colors.
I do know what the colors are. Yes.
Is there an inspiration behind it? Is there like a reason for it, or is it just?
What's the reason? No, the inspiration. Just fun colors.
Okay.
Just fun colors.
You're not trying to make a statement or anything like that.
I might just wear it like this, honestly. Now it looks like cotton candy.
I mean, this is sweet. This is amazing. What great insight. I mean, what other show do you get this kind of access? Sean, this has been tremendous. Thank you so much for this. I can't wait to see the finished product. This week, when people ask you about your hair, please say, as first seen on the MMA Hour. Okay, nice little plug would be appreciated.
I think I can do that, Ariel. I got you.
Thank you, Sean. Good luck to you on Saturday. Always appreciate the time. And props to your team over there for the great work on the hair.
Yes. Thank you. Awesome, Ariel. Have a good one, brother.
All right. Always appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sean. There he is, Sugar Sean O'Malley, getting his hair did on the program. How about that? We once had, I think this was in the ESPN days, we had Tyron Woodley getting a haircut. Speaking of Mr. Woodley, while he was on the show, he was in the chair. Never quite like this. So that was unique. I appreciate that. Something somewhat mesmerizing about watching a man with hair like that, with a look like that, get his hair done up. Why do they say did? I mean, it's